Hello, my friends. 3KO Games here. Version 76 is here. You might have seen some other videos about it already, and if you are on Android, you might have already done the update, but this news piece just pushed to my inbox here in Empires and Puzzles. Let's jump in and see what version 76 is going to be all about. Alright, well that looks like... Oh, like some bad graphics there. We're going to be highlighting a new legendary Dragon Quest. Yes, a refreshed Tower of Magic. Upcoming hero Elissa. Other April highlights featured legendary troop added to the epic troop summon. Ooh, I like that. Mimic heroes and, well, of course, hero of the month Clegg. Okay. So, updated Magic Tower event. This is maybe the biggest news for me. There are two that are really, really big, and one's very, I don't know if they're positive or negative, but they're big. This Magic Carpet family is going to be alongside the older Magic heroes in the Magic Tower coming back in about a week. So, family bonus, chance to grant 5% mana to all allies when this hero casts their special skill. I like that. Of course, you can't count on it, so you can't like do the math and just assume that actually your mana speed is going to be this or whatever. It's going to happen sometimes. Heroes of the family have flight momentum. And of course, they do this in the wrong order, but they say see passives below. Let's look at the flight momentum first, because otherwise it just tells us not about flight momentum, but when it happens. Flight momentum down here, if this character has any amount of flight momentum, they receive up to plus 20% mana generation, up to plus 5% extra chance to dodge, and the effects diminish the less flight momentum the character has. Okay. So now, back here, heroes start out with full flight momentum at the end of each turn, and when taking damage, the hero loses a small amount of flight momentum. When casting their special skill, heroes gain flight momentum. Slower heroes gain increased amount of flight momentum. Okay. Interesting new passive. Other new passives include mana on damage received. When this character receives direct damage from special skills or normal attacks, they receive 1% mana. Maximum 5% mana gained per turn. Oh, yeah, I mean, I guess if they get, one of those heroes that's going to hit them a million times, Lemonwood's going to hit them a million times, per shot, it's going to be 5%, 1% for 5% total, even if they hit him for more than that. Or if it's just tile damage, you get a little cascades, and suddenly there's 10 tiles into that character, they'll stop him at 5. But that's still pretty great. I mean, just a little tile damage, and boom, you do if it's a tank, you'll see quite a few tile moves that will bulk up their mana. Okay, and we just talked about flight momentum, so we can skip that for now. The other big news here is that now our Magic Carpet family heroes are going to stop megaminions. Enemy megaminions can't attack or use abilities. So they are just a meat shield. That's it. They're a hefty meat shield. But now we just did a review on the latest red Garrison Guard hero, who just has a Mega Minion and attacks 1 for 375%, and that's it. At very fast speed, but now that the Mega Minions are stopped, a snipe of 375% and then a meat shield? That just doesn't sound very good. Of course, that depends on if you are lucky enough to pull any of these magic carpet family heroes. And then how many you pull, can you use them in every single battle in a war or something like that. Enemy Mega Minions can't attack or use abilities. Disable Minions is renamed to Stop Minions to match the naming of this passive skill. Okay, we have several new legendary heroes being released, including Elissa and Orlando and Naeem and Lily and Agad and Zaza. I kind of like Zaza. Come on, Zaza. We also have an epic and a rare hero. That's great. For the mortals out here, we might actually pull the 3-star or the 4-star. Bonus, you could bring those into a war with Mega Minions and still stop them. That's kind of crazy. We also are going to have costumes for the older Magic Family heroes. Each hero's original passive skill is improved on the costume hero. So it sounds like we'll get all these other passives on the new heroes if they get a costume, including Milena, Agrafina with an F, and Nadezhda. That's pretty awesome. New bosses in tower stages. That's fine. When summoning event legendary hero, 20% chance to receive one extra event legendary. Okay. The summon chest, yes. And classic legendary heroes removed from the summon pool. So all that pretty interesting. Unless you are lamenting the change to your Garrison Guard heroes. Now, here's another one that a lot of people will lament, and some people will just, throw their phone across the room or quit the game about. But new Alliance War rule, Skyfire, coming April 23rd, like 2 weeks. Goal is to make sure the core game features like Alliance War stay fresh and dynamic, so we're once again reviewing the current war rotation rules. Each rule should be distinct and provide an enjoyable challenge to players that requires thinking about a different approach, and no rule is guaranteed to be permanent. Dragons bring a whole new aspect to Alliance War, and this rule could replace one of the existing batch that isn't offering the desired balance of difficulty and fun. Insanity. Now, some people like Insanity, and I'm growing to appreciate it, but I love complaining about it at least. All right, so here come the dragons into the war. They are enabled for all teams in this Alliance War. Each dragon can be used once when attacking. Does that mean just one dragon per battle then? Attacking assist dragons are more powerful than defending assist dragons. So you're going to have to come up with 6 dragons that you can bring into your war? I have a couple 4-stars, and I got the one auto legendary, but it's not leveled up. So I'm going to start bringing in some 3-star dragons, I guess. Attacking assist dragons gain 10% more spirit bonuses, 10% more damage, and 10% more healing each time you use them. Oh, like in a battle. Right? Because that first bullet point, each dragon can be used once when attacking. Seems to tell me the dragon expires, or you fire the dragon once, and then you can use them the next battle too. I don't know. Attacking assist dragons gain mana when shields of the respective element are matched. Defending assist dragons gain a small amount of mana each turn, and when heroes of the respective element are hit. Okay, so if you're if you're thinking about your defense, if you can get your tank and the color of your dragon to match, get a little bit more mana for the dragon that way. I don't hate this as long as the dragons don't take over. If this is War 1 of 8 or whatever it is, then every 2 months this happens. Okay. Personally, those are my feelings, and I felt that way about the raid tournament too. It's like, well, that was kind of fine. It was kind of fun. Let's live most of our lives without those, and then once in a while. You know, they had to introduce this mechanic after introducing Dragonspire eventually. I'm just hoping that we draw a line in the sand somewhere that says, great, we're into the dragons now. We know they're here, and we have to do some stuff. Let's stop there. And if you really want to do an all-out dragon war, make that a platform that's just in Dragonspire, that doesn't replace our regular wars, and then people can opt in or not. Mimic family. All right, the Mimic family are the heroes that you see during the Super Challenge quests. They have a family bonus to receive Mimic Loot passive as a family bonus. Mimic Loot passive gives extra chance for extra loot when completing map or quest level, or defeating an enemy in horde levels of Monster Island. That's an interesting passive. Nothing about something you can use in war, but just, hey, if you get one of these Mimic heroes, use them when you are doing quests, when you're just farming, when you're in Monster Island, and you might get more loot. Great. Chances and rewards increased with energy cost of the level, and Mimic hero needs to be fully ascended and leveled up to benefit from the passive. Okay. Experience Mimic hero with a variant for each element. Each variant has a different passive. Each Mimic passive gives an extra chance for trainer heroes, low rarity heroes. Okay, that part doesn't make tons of sense to me, but okay. Hero League is coming back, has advantages and disadvantages. So now it's not just a bonus for the couple of families that they say are featured, but also a disadvantage for the families that aren't featured. Maybe strong enough, because when I've done Hero League, I haven't always had good heroes in the family that's featured, so I just take my strongest heroes, yeah? But now, if there's a disadvantage, you have to kind of do the math and start to think, well, like, how weak is my hero that's from this featured family? Is it worth bringing them in with the bonus and knowing that I'm not going to get a disadvantage from them? Interesting stuff. All right, let's just jump ahead to the Harvester update, renamed to boosters. Some of us are still sitting on these Harvesters, the Omnia Harvester, Troop, Food, Iron, and not really using them. I have not used them in a long time, especially because they were not able to be used during, like, if you were really farming a season, Valhalla Forever or Atlantis Rises, they're not effective during those times. So it's like, well, I don't want, no thanks. But now they'll last 2 days, and there's no limit to usage during the story map events. That has to mean Atlantis Rises and Valhalla Forever and all those other things. When it's cheaper to, it costs less world energy to play those map stages. So that sounds pretty great. We're going to get 300% increased food, 300% increased iron if you get one of those boosters, plus some new boosters. Quartermaster's booster. Nice. Better chance to get like an adventurer's kit. I love that. Alchemist booster. Specific crafting items, including orichalcum nuggets. That's great. A recruit booster. 300% increase to recruits from story stages. Recruits going over storage limit will be converted to recruit decrees. Huh. Similar to food and iron crates, stores recruits in inventory via decrees that can be used by consuming them from the inventory. Okay. So once you actually, if you're full, they become a recruit decree. You use up some of your recruits. You can pop one of these like recruit crates, right? And get some more recruits. And of course the Omnia booster. That's really great for all those things. Added a small chance to receive a daily featured legendary troop, even in a epic troop summon. That's great. Cooldown has changed from 23 hours to 12 hours. And monster and heroes wanted chests skip cost now decreases with time. Okay, people didn't like that. So now those have come back down again. Collect all button added for time saver VIP users. I just did the time saver VIP. I've never done that except for when it was free. But I was like, well, hey, Atlantis Rises, that'll be fun to just, go real fast. But now I can get a collect all button when I'm just farming and trying to get my materials and that kind of stuff. That's pretty nice. I'll take that. All right. Man, that is tons of information. I'm just not going to read about the improvements and fixes for right now because this was a long video. Thank you, my friends, for tuning in. Let me know what you think about these new improvements, fixes, and just big changes here in version 76. And I'll see you next time.